Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So I spent quite a while last night playing through the next few sections of the game, so I'm pretty confident in what we're doing. If you haven't been catching up, if you don't know what's going on, so we started the game on Shipwreck Beach. We came to the Twigroot Forest, did a dungeon there and collected an orb of fire. We travelled further inland to the Forgotten River where we found a giant castle, which was located here, and we placed our orb of fire on one of the altars. It looks like we need 3 more such items, and then we basically have a choice if we wanted to go south to the bog or north to where we've ended up here, which is Sleet Island. For the sake of the fact we've just come up to Sleet Island, I figure we'll complete this area and then head to the bog later. You guys had some interesting discussion on what to do with this golden key last episode, and at the end of this video I will cut in us using that key for the decision you guys ultimately made. Once again, rather than voting, I kind of just took arguments that made the most sense to me. As for right now, right at the end of the last episode, we saw this black hooded cloaked figure drop something in this tree, and then he teleported away. We read the notes, which are on Jonker's inventory for some reason, and he had given us a map of the island, or at least this little area of the island. So Forgotten River is where we just came from. This is Sleet Island, and we got a bunch of stuff surrounding it, but he also revealed to us that he, it seems, was the island master, unless somehow just a missive for the island master, but I don't think I quite believe that. We're actually going to put these back. Oh, we can't even put them back in the tree trunk. Okay, we're gonna put the note down on the floor there, though, because I want Loto Patho's inventory a little bit cleaner moving into this next stuff. So what do we want to do? Well, if you guys remember, in Twigroot Forest we did see a giant structure looking an awful lot like that one on the island there, and this was where we managed to forge one of our objects, the fiery essence. So the idea is right now we kind of want to get onto that island, but it's going to prove reasonably difficult. Before we even begin to look into that, we can come left from where we first entered the map, and you'll find straight away we get a bit of an interesting puzzle. This says, I am the guardian of the bridge, wake me up, and we get like a mouth facing us over there. This is the kind of puzzle we got quite a lot of in the previous Grimrock, and we actually can't cross this bridge, as you can see there, to whatever that section is. I was debating for a while, did I want to leave this till the end of the episode to show you guys, but we'll do it right now. You'll notice there is a very conveniently placed rock here. Well, what if we throw a rock at his face? Look, the bridge lights up. So this is pretty cool. It's like a magical kind of bridge we can cross. You actually don't need to use that rock at all. I just think that they place it there because it's something you don't have to lug around in your inventory. You could shoot a bow arrow at him, for example. You could, if you had any like missile-based spells. We do have a ranged spell, but this travels across the ground, so it'll fizzle if we try and cast it. But on a previous playthrough, I had that amazing fire sword from the cache, and I cast a fireball and that woke him up. Don't be worried that we just dropped one of our hard-earned arrows here down in the water. We can always drop down and grab it. And indeed, there is a ladder that takes you up very, oh god, very close here. There are some new enemies we'll find out in the waters here, or rather not new enemies, but enemies we've never seen in the water before. Oh no, I did not mean to move that way. Please move, Mr. Zarkton. Thank you very much. And now we can climb out. So there are Zarktons down there, and they'll make it particularly difficult for you to get access to one of the secrets. But first we're going to keep progressing along by building that bridge. That is the only way to get to the area we are currently stood at. And I'm sure you guys are noticing we pick up all of these alchemy ingredients and put them on Tikrit and use barely any of them at the moment. But we've got so many etherweed at this point. Actually, I would have expected us to have added a lot more. But okay, don't worry, alchemy stuff will be coming pretty soon. And as you can see, there's no other ladders up here, so this is the only way to get to this place. There is this locked room here. I actually have no idea. This is not a strong start, because I know so much about this map. This is the only thing about this map. I don't actually know how to get inside, believe it or not. I'm guessing later on we will come out through that teleporter, and we'll use that lever to drop the gate down. That's why I'm satisfied with leaving it for now. But I'm going to mark that, and I'm going to call that point of exit, because I'm pretty confident in what that is. And over here, you'll see there is another exit to the map already. We've barely spent any time here on Sleet Island at all. But if we look at the map that the Island Master gave us, this would suggest we're at the ruins of Desaroon here. And remember in his note, he actually said there was something even more scary beyond the ruins of Desaroon, but we needn't worry ourselves with that. So this is a pretty cool city. I guess the idea is it's on the surface, but the tile set is very dungeony. It is slightly different, I think, to what we've seen before. There's definitely a lot of new stuff. Here you'll see that we've got a place called Meditation Spire with a ominous pillar of light shining down onto some block there. Over here, if we open up this door, We'll find there's some kind of scary-looking lava-y rooms around. I'm actually not going to explore the ruins of Desaroon just yet. It would make more sense for us, I think you guys will agree, to do Sleet Island. There's a very scary-looking frost elemental there. And, I guess we'll leave him be for now. There are some cool secrets. In fact, we'll get the secret here right now. Oh, no, I messed it up. There's probably one of the easiest secrets in the game, in my opinion. By this point, you are just accustomed to finding hidden buttons, right? And this secret is the easiest to see hidden button in a dead end that you're obviously going to be looking for, that just creates this, and it's not even that difficult to get across. But okay, game, sure, this is a secret, I'll take it. So here we get a bronze brace. We haven't really found many braces and things for our wrists recently, but here we go. So the surface of this wristband is covered with tiny runes, which are almost too faint to be seen with the naked eye. We'll equip that, and over here we get a nice potion of resurrection. Oh yes, so using this, and once we get alchemy high enough, once Tikrit's working away on that, we'll actually be able to create potions of resurrection. We won't need save crystals anymore. There are more options for doing this kind of thing than there were in the previous game. Here you'll actually notice something kind of subtle, kind of cool. We're actually on the floor of a dungeon here that has sort of vertical mechanics to it. You're going to see some crazy stuff in this game. It keeps surprising me the further I play into it, the further I see. It's crazy, kind of just the way they develop mechanics upon one another. So interesting. But yeah, so this is something we never really saw before. We didn't go down a floor, we didn't go through a loading screen. But yeah, anyway, so we could progress a little bit in the ruins of Desaroon. I'm not going to. This episode's about Sleet Island. So, and that's this little section of Sleet Island done, so we don't have to worry about this little area now. Let's drop back into the river, and, well, which way do I want to tackle this map? I guess I should tackle the map in the same order that I tackled it before, which would be counterclockwise. I don't know why, I seem to enjoy doing stuff counterclockwise. Let's have a quick look for any fishies, because I do want to level up Jonker some more. I know he's going crazy. In the last episode, I said, oh, he didn't crit for 200, and then he just casually hit like the plant for 132 last episode. He is so strong at the moment, but I want to keep powering him up. I want to keep making him more and more crazy. Here you'll notice there is a cave in the water. If we drop down, scanning for fish first, and we swim through, you'll actually notice, hello, don't swim away, don't. There we go, that's one. We're going to drown if I'm not careful. Okay, there we go. Go. There's the ladder. You'll notice we're actually back where we were before. This is, oh god, this is the Shrine of Pain. And for a little bit of perspective, when you enter the Shrine of Pain, you can either go through that tunnel there, or literally once you finish it, it's just here and then there's the exit. You know, very simple. It's just a direct route up to the north. And that tiny little story thing I mentioned that you can only see if you go through the Shrine of Pain, if you swim through that underwater tunnel, you'll miss seeing the guy put the note in the tree, you see, because he'll do that while you're underwater. And that's why it could be kind of more important to go to the Shrine of Pain. But yeah. So we got that. We don't really want the torch lit. A really cool mechanic, actually, I haven't talked to you guys about, is the fact that if you go underwater, for example, I think it's going underwater that triggers this, it'll actually put your torch out. And this is actually preferable, because by putting your torch out, it's not burning down while you're exploring the overworld during the day. And that's awesome. So that was a nice little subtle thing I noticed before. As long as we don't weapon swap with Jonker, I guess we could just put the torch back on Tikrit, on Lotopatho, sorry. But you'll notice he's actually now got a snail icon above him while he's holding this. This is because his max load is maxed out. He still has inventory space, but his max load is full up now already, because he's wearing all this heavy armor. He's got this heavy shield. And he's getting a bit loaded down, so we're not going to actually have that on him. We're going to have it on Jonker, who can carry over double what Lotopatho can, because he's got so much strength. So you see early on in the series where I was like putting down all the containers and stuff, and some of you guys were kind of going a bit completionist at the time, and you were saying, oh, I really wish you'd keep them. Well, you can see why now I didn't keep them. They weigh even more, and it's unnecessary. I still don't have any need for any containers. We're okay. Maybe we got a little bit too much food, but with the joy of a farmer, I'm so happy that the farmer's working out. We can just eat some of that up. So here we've got something pretty interesting. There's a rifle on a pedestal. Now, may I remind you guys what I said last episode when we just finished the Shrine of Pain? That in theory, you could be in Twigroot Forest and just come here straight away, all the way here to Sleet Island. Now, it's intimidating, but I did that. I came all the way here before I'd even finished this first dungeon. And this does have sort of a benefit in that it allows you to get another firearm. The only firearm that's been available the whole way through the game so far is that gun that we got right at the start. Now, we don't have anyone using firearms, but this is a really good rifle. So we're going to pick it up, but nothing ever comes so easy. When you pick it up, you'll be teleported into a room full of mummies that are hungry for your blood. The best way to kill the mummies, I've found, is to turn around and kill the one behind you, because he's only a single mummy, which means you'll kill him quickly, but B, then you can corner yourself down here, and you're not going to be getting attacked in 4 angles at once. Now, the thing with my party is we've already done a significant chunk of the stuff in the game, so these mummies really are not an issue for us anymore. I doubt I have to pop any potions or do anything significant at all. They'll just melt down, especially to our fire, and you can just stand here and blow them up. However, if you want this rifle really early, I think it's called an arquebus. If you want it, then you're going to have to, then this is going to be a difficult fight for you. This will be an example where you'd want to use shield potions, stuff like that. The payoff, you get an immense gun that can be incredibly powerful for doing stuff like taking out the trickster and further stuff like that. So anyway, now you'll notice we're actually underneath Sleet Island. We're in a place called the Flooded Dungeon. This is all we're going to see of the Flooded Dungeon for a very long time. There are no further secrets in here. It is just a trap to catch you out and get you killed. And that is exactly what happened to me when I first came here. And it was at this point I was like, okay, maybe I've wandered a bit out of my depth. I'll come back later. And then I sort of gave this place up. Actually, I think I'd explored further north as well. Because when I very first came here, very first, I went through the river. And then later I went through the Shrine of Pain. But yeah. Multiple files. Okay, so we do now have this gun, and for a bit of a browse at it, you notice it's very powerful, 17 to 52. If you have someone using firearms, if you still have pellets, it's so strong. This large rifle packs enough punch to blast a hole through the hull of a rattling caravel. The really cool thing here is you can obviously equip it as soon as you get it and use it to shred through those mummies, and I think that might be a bit of an idea there too, because it's such a powerful weapon. Of course, we outclass it a little bit. Here, let's go into the water, and I want to show you guys something. Here is a gate with a pressure pad, and it says hold your breath. Now, you can probably figure out already exactly what this means. I'm going to save here. And what it probably means is we want to stand on here, and eventually this will come down. Now, you can try and cheat it out. You can try and drop something nice and heavy on it, but you'll notice it does not weigh it down. So the only way to get this secret, and you will have noticed through those bars probably already, is a skull. The only way to get that secret and that skull is to wait for a long time on the pressure pad. Now remember, people drown when they run out of energy, so I just rested there so that Sanon's energy would fill up. A cool little mechanic here is your mages, the people with more energy, therefore can survive longer underwater. So a battle mage in particular with lots of vitality and energy, or health and energy, will actually fare pretty well. So here we go, we're going to try it. You cannot use potions here. I did try this. You cannot use potions because you can't drink or activate anything while we're underwater. So we just have to wait. Now, the terrifying thing, and the reason why I saved, or one reason, is there are Zarktons in the water, and they can start attacking you while you're waiting. So we're drowning. Sanon isn't drowning yet, but we are already drowning, and the gate's not opening. It's crazy. What is this? You're going to probably just have to accept the fact that some of your characters will die trying to get this secret. There we go. There we go. We got it open. Maybe I could have got up the bridge before Tikrit drowned. Oh, but he did anyway. That's a real shame. Loto Patho is suddenly very tired and moving sluggishly. We got the gate open though. That's all that matters. We could use the Potion of Resurrection, but oh man, maybe we should. Maybe we should. No, do you know what, guys? I'm going to cut it. I'm going to go back to the save crystal. Do I dare go back in the water? No, there's no point. There's no point in going through here. I'm going to go to the save crystal, cut it, and see you guys in a second. This is what I did in my previous file, and I just think it's the smart thing to do at this point in the game. Maybe you could come back later when you're more tolerated underwater, but yeah. Alright, we're back, and it's sunrise. Okay, so it's nice, it's dawn. I guess I got a little bit greedy there. I immediately tried to get in and get the secret without, I mean, before on my previous file, I was actually stood like this, waiting to hear the sound, and then just ran up and got to the ladder. That's some scary stuff, though. These guys are swimming around a lot. It took me a long time on my test file to even get in there, just because the Zarktons were swimming around so much. If they surround you and start adding to the damage you take from already drowning, yeah, you're not going to have a very good time. It's difficult stuff. So yeah, we're done with that. We kind of got a bit of a choice here. Well, no, we've definitely got a choice. We could start swimming a lot. So, like, as long as I can avoid the denizens of the water here. You can start swimming around and scraping the walls, for example. Seeing what you can find underwater. But I'm actually going to opt for the route across land here. And we're going to try and do a whole perimeter of what we're ultimately going to find this shrine is like on an island all in its own in the middle. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to try and like mark off all the areas of the lake as we go on the map, so it all looks nice and complete. And I appreciate we've already missed a little bit of an area there, but we'll do that later. So to go the land route, we've got mind and matter here, We're going to open this up. I feel like this game should have like an achievement where you complete this whole place, sort of, without ever going in the water. But how do you consider when someone's completed it? I don't know, kind of an interesting idea. So we're in an overworld puzzle here. This had me stumped for so long. It completely defeated me on one fire I was playing. And I spent ages last night just running around here for ages and ages and ages. Until ultimately I realised there was a secret switch. But I'll show you guys how this works. So we saw some of these a while ago, remember? In the Twigroot Forest dungeon. These are blocks we can push around once we give them power. Well, giving them power is pretty easy this time. We just pull that lever. And we're not going to want to turn the power off. For a long time I thought the secret was you'd have to turn the power off again somewhere. But we don't have to do that. If we come down here, you'll see that there is unfortunately a locked gate blocking us from passage back that way. And nothing else really about in the area. We do have a leather cap, but I'm not interested in using this at all, so I'm just going to drop that down again. So, what do we want to do? Well, we want to push these blocks, and right now, you'll see that we want to get them onto these orange platforms here, but our only choice, we can't push this block this way, we can't access it from any other angle, we can only push it this way, so we're actually undoing progress here, but here we go. So I'll push it like this, then we have to push it again, and now we get into this new area. Fantastic. So, what do we have here? Well, we can't push it that way because the other block's there. This block we can't push that way because it's the end of the grid. So, we can't do anything with the blocks anymore. So, let's have a bit of an explore. Here, you'll notice a button. And we can't quite hear what it's doing. But what it's doing, if we have a look, do you see there's a face there? It's releasing a frost bolt that is trying to come through and land in this receptacle. But, I swear, whenever I'm talking about these puzzles in Grimrock, I always use the word receptacle, which is not a term I often use. So we want to get in there, but the two blocks are blocking its path now. Great. So what do we want to do? We can't do anything there. There's another gate blocking us off there. That was the one we saw earlier, I think. And if we move around, we will see that we can now actually push the blocks. So this is good. And what do we want to do? We want to press this button and let the frostbolt come in, which opens this gate. Fantastic. So, but how does that help us? Well, this lets us get back through. And now the configuration we originally found the puzzle in, almost, now that this gate's open, we can come through this side and we can push the block through, as you can see here. And so this seems pretty basic, right? Now that that's there, we want to come back through again. And voila, we should be able to get it straight away onto one of these orange platforms. Great, so now we just need to get the other block. Huh. Well, maybe you guys can already see the problem. If we click this, it doesn't go anywhere good. Now we can't click it that way because it's the end of the grid. We don't want to move it back. We want to move it here, but we can't get to that angle. How can we possibly get to that angle? Well, let's have a look over here. Well, no, there's no way. Let's push it back. Let's see if we can find anything. Never really did examine this area, did we? Well, we've got a lockpick here. That's pretty awesome. We've got a chest over here as well, which we open up and we find a bunch of food, which Jonker can eat some of that, I guess. He's getting a bit full because he's got these skulls with him. Someone pointed out very rightly that by the time I'm spec'd into heavy armor, I'll probably have a much better helmet I want to use, so I'm going to throw that away. I think that's really smart. We get a new recipe here. This is for a rage potion. We've seen these before. This is a blood drop cap and a falcon skyer. So it's like you could make a health potion with that blood drop cap, which is probably what I would want to do, or you can combine it with some falcon skyer and make it into a rage potion, which next time we have a good opportunity, I'll put a rage potion on Jonker and we'll just see how the crazy damage he does. Actually, you know what? I said all that stuff about the containers, but Jonker's got so much strength now that he can carry a lot of stuff. So I'm actually going to start putting the food in food storage, since his skulls and stuff are going to be taking up a lot more space. And the odd potion here or there that I think's smart for him to have. Antidote, I don't really know why he's got. Plus he's holding the arquebus just because it's very heavy and I don't want to throw it away. I want to put that into the hub for the rest of our sweet, sweet loot. Okay, so yeah, we got that. But what else? There's nothing here. What do we do? It's impossible. This is impossible. I spent so long trying to figure this out. It just, you can't do it. You can't click at a weird angle. You can't do anything. Well, turns out this is one of those really annoying things where you've just missed something basic. There was a secret switch here all along. So much of my frustration solved with the secret switch, which of course opens up an alternate direction here, which lets us push it, and there you go, the puzzle is solved. Ridiculous. I can't believe I missed it as well. It's in such an odd place for a secret switch. Now, while recording, it was painfully obvious just a second ago to me that it was there, and I'm so scared you guys will just notice it instantly, and you'll be like, oh, it was so easy to see. Look, you're not necessarily looking for that when you come through the first time. Anyway, with both of these on their respective platforms, the gate will open.